All right,
Go.
you're live.
Our story is called The Mystery Man. So, one day, Jesus died by crucifixion, and Mary was so sad that she planned a funeral. Mary made James go to the funeral, even though he didn't want to be there. While at this funeral, Mary pressured James into converting to Jesus and listening to Jesus. So he did that just to be a good child. While at this funeral, there were a couple of people tipsy: Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, and the disciples, and Paul, and a group of women. Well, Paul and the man in all white left the funeral early. And while they were walking the road of Damascus, Paul had a heat stroke. Symptoms of heat strokes are feeling dazed, confused, irregular heartbeat, and vision issues.
Paul fell to his knees, saying he heard Jesus talking, but the man in all white knew he was lying because he knocked the guards out, rolled the stone back, and took the body of Jesus and buried it under his house. But it was just the man in all white talking. Well, the man walked Paul back to the funeral. When they got back to the funeral, the man in all white locked the disciples in a room, afraid for their own lives, so they created this story about Jesus appearing to them.
And we're done. Boom.
That was pretty good.
Just like that.
Okay. Bryce is headed to the ejector cam first.
Can we say?
Anytime they ask one, I'm gonna go first. You go second, and we just read from it. But this one,
All right.
this one is.
All right, Bryce, you're live.
Y'all said James. This is a clarification question before I start. You said James was pressured by Mary in the converting, right?
Yeah.
So James was martyred in Jerusalem. I can't remember the time. Was it 80? I want to say. I might be thinking of someone else. But liars make poor martyrs. And if he was just pressured in believing this, he never actually believed it. Because someone pressured him believing something, and actually believing something's completely different. How do you explain that liars make good poor martyrs?
Wait, huh?
How do you
I
explain?
understand this question.
He's
How do you
saying if
explain-
James was pressured, then how do you explain his conversion if James was actually pressured into believing that his brother?
Because he was a.
Is that correct?
And
Yes,
when he was
because
martyred,
he was a mama's boy, and when he seen his mama crying, he was just like, "Well, if that will make her happy, then I would just believe my brother."
But that doesn't explain liars make poor martyrs.
That was good, Chris. That was
But my story made good sense. I don't know.
Bryce said that was Swiss cheese. Whatever that means.
Maybe it's.
What is that?
My dad's little.
So what about Paul's conversion? So you said it was a guy in white, whatever. What about him going blind and how did he had a heat stroke? How
Well,
did he just
when he fell from the heat stroke, he got sand in his eyes and he couldn't see. But he thought it was Jesus talking, but it was just a man in all white.
but the man in all white just happened to sound just like Jesus?
Huh?
The man in all
Yeah.
white just happened to sound
Yeah.
He was having a heat stroke, so he couldn't really.
Yeah, he had a heat stroke.
He wasn't like.
and
He
how
was right.
why were they walking to Jerusalem?
They weren't walking to Jerusalem. They were walking the road of Damascus. It's in the Bible.
Why were they walking the road to Damascus?
Maybe they needed to clear their head after what just happened.
Exactly.
That was pretty good. I like
Y'all got me.
Come on, anybody else?
I'll name another
that. All
story.
right, hold up.
You want us to read
Well,
some?
we
We can read like the
They got
story.
Hang on a second. Hang on a second.
I'm going outside, Chris.
No, y'all's story's pretty good. I wanna say.
I can't argue.
Okay.
I can argue with Bryce.
Bryce keep going every time.
I can argue with Bryce.
Hey, Coach, can I go up again?
No, somebody else has got to go in between.
Just give me
We haven't had.
What's it about? Wait,
You
I'll say
talking
yours,
next.
Chris.
I've been talking. I'm the one that got us that movie.
All right, someone else?
Chris.
They don't say
Whose funeral are they at?
Jesus.
And how did he die?
He did die by crucifixion. He did.
We're just saying that everything else
It's a
in
lie.
the story is a lie. Not the crucifixion, but everything else.
Oh, like he didn't rise from the dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the things that they said that happened didn't really happen, but he did die.
Alright, somebody else go up there. Need another objector to the objector
Wait,
team.
but let me get my wording right.
This is so different.
Oh, see, you done messed up now. Alright, Chris, let me get that.
Cause I got
Okay, if Jesus was crucified, how did he get everyone to believe he resurrected?
What do you mean?
Like, if he was crucified, how does everyone today believe that he resurrected from the dead?
Okay, hold
Like
on.
the empty
Hold on,
tomb.
hold on. I have a camera malfunction,
What does that mean?
so hang on.